welcome to On This Day in Tudor History with me, Claire Ridgway. Today, I'm actually taking you back to an event that happened, well, in Elizabeth I's reign, at the very start of her reign, but it's to do with a man who really was more prominent in Henry VIII's reign. So on this day in Tudor history, the 13th of December, 1558, civil lawyer and Dean of Chester, William Clyffe, died. Clyffe was one of the authors of the 1537 Bishop's Book, and he was consulted by convocation during Henry VIII's great matter. Let me tell you a bit more about William Clyffe. Nothing is known of Clyffe's background and his early life, but we know he graduated from Cambridge with a Bachelor of Law in 1514 and a doctorate in 1523. In 1522, he was admitted to the Doctors' Commons as an advocate. The Doctors' Commons was a London society of civil lawyers. Between 1522 and 1529, Clyffe worked as a commissary of the Diocese of London. In 1526, he was prebend of Twyford in the Diocese of St. Paul's, and in 1529 was made Archdeacon of London. In 1532, he held the prebend of Fenton in the Archdiocese of York. In 1533, his expertise on marriage and divorce law led to convocation seeking his advice regarding Henry VIII's case for an annulment of his marriage to Catherine of Aragon. He also heard and determined a number of divorce cases during his career. 1533 was also a troubled year for Clyffe because Archbishop Cranmer's Vicar General in Ely complained that he was hindering him from administering justice. And later that year, he was involved in litigation due to an accusation of him wrongfully interfering in a case in the Court of Chancery. In that same year, Clyffe resigned as Archdeacon of London to become Archdeacon of Cleveland. He also held the living of Waverton, Cheshire, in that year. In 1534, he was precentor of York, then served as treasurer of York in 1538, until the position was suppressed in 1547. At that point, he became Dean of Chester and was subsequently thrown into the Fleet prison due to complaint from the controller of the king's household, Sir Richard Cotton. Clyffe had refused to lease Cotton chapter lands at a preferential rate, so he'd refused him a favour. It took Clyffe changing his mind and leasing Cotton the lands to obtain his freedom. In 1537, Clyffe was one of the authors of the Godly and Pious Institution of a Christian Man, more commonly known as the Bishop's Book. This book was compiled by a committee of divines and bishops and was an attempt to outline the religious doctrine of England following the 1536 10 Articles. From 1548, he was prebend of Noxton in Middlesex, and in 1552, he held the living of Standish in Lancashire. William Clyffe died on this day in 1558. Tomorrow, I'll be talking about the death of a 30-year-old king not long after the defeat of his forces, and I'll be talking about the accession of his baby daughter as queen, a very famous queen. Do make sure you're subscribed. Click there, and that you've hit the bell so you don't miss that talk. Also on this day in Tudor history, the 13th of December 1577, pirate, sea captain and explorer Sir Francis Drake finally left the port of Plymouth on his circumnavigation of the globe. In last year's video, I shared a wonderful letter written by Drake. You can hear it in last year's video and you'll find a link to that in the description. Thank you for joining me today. Please do give me a thumbs up and you can leave a comment if you wish. I'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye bye.